A historic winter storm is barreling across America right now, and it is moving faster than anyone predicted. If you are watching this from anywhere between New Mexico and Maine, the next 72 hours could change everything. Power lines are already falling. Roads are becoming death traps. And the worst part, this monster is 6 to 8 hours ahead of schedule. Right now, at this very moment, snow and ice are accumulating in places where forecasters said it would not start until tonight. Eastern Tennessee is already buried. Knoxville reported snow this morning when models said this afternoon. Nashville is getting pounded. Memphis is in chaos. And if you think your area is safe because the forecast said you had more time, think again. Here is what nobody is telling you. This is not just a snowstorm. This is not just an ice storm. This is both happening simultaneously, stretching from the Mexican border to the Canadian border. Winter storm warnings cover more than 2,000 miles. Ice storm warnings blanket 8 states. And in 30 seconds, I am going to tell you exactly when this hits your neighborhood, how much snow or ice you are going to get, and most importantly, when you need to be off the roads completely. But first, let me show you something that should terrify you. The National Weather Service just upgraded their impact scale for this storm. They do not do that often. The last time they issued extreme impact warnings like this across this many states was never. This is unprecedented. And if you live anywhere in the purple or red zones on your screen right now, you need to stop what you are doing and listen to every word I say. Comment below right now with your city and state. Tell me where you are watching from, because in just a few minutes, I am going to give you a minute-by-minute breakdown of when this storm arrives in your town, when it peaks, and when it finally moves out. But you need to tell me where you are so you know exactly which section to pay attention to. The moisture feeding this beast is coming all the way from Hawaii. Yes, you heard that right. Hawaii. A Pineapple Express is colliding with a Siberian Express. Tropical moisture meeting Arctic air. The clash is creating what meteorologists are calling a once-in-20-years event for some regions and a once-in-50-years event for others. Here is the reality. Some of you watching this will lose power for days, not hours, days. And when I tell you the temperature's dropping behind this storm, you will understand why that is a life-threatening situation, but we will get to that. First, let me explain exactly what is happening right now. The cold air is already here. The freezing line has plunged all the way into Texas, Louisiana, and the Carolinas. Temperatures below 32 degrees Fahrenheit stretch from New Mexico to Maine. That is the first ingredient. The second ingredient is moisture, and it is pouring in from the Pacific Ocean. An upper-level low parked over Baja California is grabbing moisture from the Pacific and firing it across the entire country. And here is where it gets interesting. When warm, moist air rides up and over a shallow layer of cold air, models almost always underestimate the precipitation. They miss the lifting, they miss the intensity, and that is exactly what is happening right now. The North American mesoscale model showed nothing in eastern Tennessee at this hour. But go look outside if you live there. It is already snowing. The model missed it by 6 hours. What does that mean for you? It means this storm could overperform everywhere. It means you could get more snow than predicted, more ice than predicted, and it could start earlier than predicted. In fact, it already has in multiple locations. Let me give you the timeline, and I want you to pay very close attention. I am going to break this down by region, and I am going to tell you exactly when things go from bad to worse in your area. Let us start in the southern plains and work our way east and north. If you are in the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma, or western Arkansas, you are already in the thick of it. Oklahoma City, you have been seeing snow since early this morning. By tonight, you will have 8 to 10 inches on the ground. Tulsa, same story. 8 to 10 inches of pure snow. No mixing for you. You are cold enough that this stays frozen the entire time. But here is the problem for folks south of you. Dallas-Fort Worth, you started with a little bit of snow, but now it is changing to freezing rain. By tonight, you will have 1/10 to 1/4 inch of ice. That does not sound like much, but it is enough to snap tree branches and knock out power to thousands. East Texas, Texarkana area, you are looking at 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice. That is major impact territory. And Houston, Austin, San Antonio, here is your forecast. You are going to see freezing rain starting late this afternoon and continuing through tomorrow morning. Ice accumulations of 1/10 of an inch are possible. For cities that rarely see ice, this is going to shut everything down. Do not drive. I repeat, Do not drive on ice in cities that do not have salt trucks or experience with this. Now let us move into Arkansas and Louisiana. Little Rock, you are in for a rough night. You started with snow this morning. By this afternoon, it changes to sleet, then freezing rain. Total snow, 2 to 4 inches. Total sleet, 1 to 2 inches. Total ice, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. That combination is devastating. Power outages are guaranteed. Northern Louisiana, from Shreveport to Monroe, this is your nightmare scenario. 3/4 of an inch to a full inch of ice. That is catastrophic. That is once in 20 years ice accumulation. Power will fail. It is not a question of if, it is when. Trees will snap. Roads will be impassable for days. If you are still watching this and you have not prepared, you need to fill your bathtub with water right now. You need to charge every device you own. You need to assume you will lose power for 3 to 5 days. Mississippi, let me talk to you. Northern Mississippi, from Tupelo to the Tennessee border, you are in the bullseye. 3/4 to 1 full inch of ice. The National Weather Service does not issue ice storm warnings lightly. When they say extreme impacts, they mean it. This is the kind of ice storm people will talk about for decades. This is the kind that utility companies will need weeks to recover from. Memphis, you are starting with a couple inches of snow right now. Enjoy it while you can, because by this evening it changes to sleet and then freezing rain. By tomorrow morning, you will have 2 to 3 inches of snow, an inch or two of sleet, and 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice on top of everything. Travel will be impossible. Do not even think about getting in your car after 6 p.m. tonight. Tennessee, let us break you down by city. Nashville, you started with snow this morning. You are going to pick up 2 to 4 inches of snow before it changes to sleet this afternoon. Tonight, freezing rain takes over. Total ice accumulation, 1/4 of an inch. That is enough for scattered power outages and very dangerous roads. Knoxville, you are getting hit earlier than expected. 3 to 5 inches of snow, then sleet, then freezing rain. Ice totals 1/4 inch. Chattanooga, you are on the southern edge of the heavy snow. 1 to 3 inches of snow, then sleet, then freezing rain. Ice up to 1/4 inch. East Tennessee, the Smoky Mountains, you could see 6 to 8 inches of snow at higher elevations before any mixing occurs. Kentucky, let me give you the good news and bad news. Louisville, Cincinnati, this is an all-snow event for you. No ice, just pure, beautiful, fluffy snow. Totals 10 to 14 inches. Some areas could see 16 inches. This is a significant snowstorm, but snow is so much easier to deal with than ice. Clear your driveways tonight and tomorrow. You will be fine by Monday. Southern Kentucky, Bowling Green area, you are on the edge. You will start as snow, accumulate 3 to 5 inches, then change to sleet and freezing rain. Ice, around 1/4 inch. Not as bad as areas south of you, but still dangerous. Now let us talk about the Carolinas, because this is where the forecast gets extremely complicated. Charlotte, this is primarily an ice storm for you. You might start with a brief period of sleet tonight, accumulating 1 to 3 inches, but then it changes to freezing rain, and that is where your problems begin. Ice accumulation, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Power outages likely. Winds gusting to 40 miles per hour tomorrow evening when a squall line moves through. That combination of ice plus wind equals widespread, long-duration power outages. Greensboro, Winston-Salem, you are in a similar boat. Maybe an inch of snow or sleet to start, then freezing rain. Ice, 1/4 of an inch. Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, you start as a quick burst of snow this evening. Maybe an inch. Then it changes to sleet, then freezing rain overnight. Ice accumulation, around 1/4 inch. The farther west of Raleigh you are, the more ice you get. The farther east, the less ice, eventually changing to just cold rain. Wilmington, Myrtle Beach, Outer Banks, you are the lucky ones. You might see a brief period of freezing drizzle, but then you change to plain rain. This is not your storm. This is not like last year. You can relax. But Asheville, Boone, the North Carolina mountains, we need to talk. You are getting buried. Snow totals, 8 to 12 inches at higher elevations, then sleet, then freezing rain. Ice accumulation on the southern-facing slopes, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. That is crippling ice on top of significant snow. Power outages will be widespread and long-lasting. Some of you might not see power restored for a week. South Carolina, let me break you down. Upstate South Carolina, Greenville, Spartanburg, Anderson, you start with sleet tonight. Accumulation, half an inch to an inch of sleet. Then it changes to freezing rain overnight and tomorrow. Ice accumulation, half an inch to 3/4 of an inch. This is major impact ice. Do not leave your home tomorrow unless it is an emergency. Columbia, you skip the sleet and go straight to freezing rain. Ice accumulation, 1/4 to half an inch. Charleston, you are like Wilmington. Brief freezing drizzle, then rain. You are fine. Georgia, let me give you your forecast. Atlanta, you are mostly rain, but north of the city, north of Interstate 285, you could see some freezing rain. Ice accumulation, 1/10 to 1/4 inch. Not a major event for you, but still slick roads. North Georgia, Gainesville, Dahlonega, Blue Ridge, you are in the ice zone. Half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of ice. Widespread power outages likely. This is a serious, dangerous ice storm for the North Georgia mountains. Virginia, let us talk. Southwest Virginia, Interstate 81 corridor. You start with snow, 3 to 6 inches, then it changes to sleet and freezing rain. Ice accumulation, 1/4 to half an inch. Roanoke, Blacksburg, same forecast. Snow, then mix, then ice. Richmond, you are more mild. You might start with an inch or two of snow, then change to rain. Northern Virginia, we will get to you in a moment with the Washington, D.C. area. Now let us jump to the Mid-Atlantic. This is where we see some of the heaviest snow totals outside of New England. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, you are getting a front-loaded thump of snow. 6 to 12 inches before you change over to sleet and freezing rain tomorrow. The exact amount depends on how long you stay as snow. If you stay snow for 12 hours, you hit 12 inches. If you change sooner, you are closer to 6 to 8 inches. Either way, significant snow, then ice compresses it down. Philadelphia, you are in the same boat. 6 to 12 inches of snow, then a change to sleet and freezing rain. Northern and western suburbs do better with snow totals. Southern and eastern suburbs change faster. But here is where the jackpot hits. Interior Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, Reading, Allentown, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, you are looking at 12 to 18 inches of snow. Some mixing possible, but you stay cold enough that most of this is snow. This is a major snowstorm for you. New Jersey, let me break you down. North Jersey, Bergen County, Passaic County, Morris County, you are looking at 10 to 16 inches of snow. Significant storm. Roads will be a disaster tomorrow. South Jersey, closer to Philadelphia, more mixing likely. 8 to 12 inches before the changeover, but the Jersey Shore, Atlantic City South, you change to rain faster, 6 to 10 inches, then rain. New York, this is your time to shine. New York City, this is tricky. Manhattan, Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, you start with heavy snow tonight. By tomorrow morning, you have 6 to 10 inches. Then sleet mixes in. Then maybe some freezing rain. Then possibly rain. It is a mess. The exact amounts depend on where that mixing line sets up. But if you are north and west of the city, hold on to your hat. Westchester County, Rockland County, Orange County, Putnam County, the Hudson Valley, the Catskills, this is the jackpot zone. 18 to 24 inches of snow. Some of you could see 2 feet. This is a historic snowstorm for the Hudson Valley. Snow rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour at times. Thunder snow is possible. Long Island, you are similar to the city. 8 to 12 inches, then mixing. The farther east you go, the more mixing you see. Connecticut, let me give you the breakdown. Fairfield County, New Haven County, southern areas, you are looking at 10 to 14 inches before mixing. Northern Connecticut, Hartford, Litchfield County, the Berkshires, 15 to 20 inches. This is a major snowstorm, one of the biggest of the year. Rhode Island, Providence, you are looking at 12 to 16 inches. Mixing possible tomorrow, but you get a solid thump of snow first. Massachusetts, welcome to the show. This is your storm. Boston, you are getting 12 to 18 inches. Worcester and areas west, 15 to 20 inches. The Berkshires, 18 to 24 inches. This is a crippling snowstorm. Snow rates of 3 inches per hour possible. Travel will be impossible during the height of the storm tomorrow. Cape Cod and the islands, you are warmer. You change to rain faster, 6 to 10 inches, then rain. New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, you are getting crushed. Manchester, Concord, Burlington, Montpelier, Portland, Bangor, 15 to 24 inches. 2 feet of snow is not just possible. It is likely in many areas. This is the biggest storm of the winter for you, maybe the biggest storm in years. Now let me talk about something nobody else is discussing, the cold that follows this storm. Because while the ice and snow are dangerous, the cold that settles in behind this system is potentially deadly if you lose power. By Tuesday morning, temperatures will drop below 0 degrees Fahrenheit as far south as Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, and northern Texas. Below zero. In areas that just lost power from ice. If you lose power in northern Mississippi with 3/4 of an inch of ice coating everything, and then the temperature drops to 5 below zero, that is a life-threatening situation. You need to have a plan. If you lose power, where will you go? Do you have family nearby with a generator? Do you have a fireplace? Do you have battery-powered heaters? Because Tuesday morning, it is 5 below zero in Memphis, 0 degrees in Little Rock, 5 degrees in Atlanta, 10 degrees in Charlotte, 15 degrees in Raleigh, 20 degrees in Richmond, 25 degrees in Washington, D.C. And here is the worst part. Afternoon highs do not warm up much. Tuesday afternoon, it only reaches the teens in Memphis, low 20s in Nashville, upper 20s in Charlotte, low 30s in Raleigh and Richmond, mid 30s in D.C. That means very little melting. That means the ice stays. That means the snow stays. That means the roads stay dangerous. That means kids do not go back to school. That means power crews cannot work as fast in the extreme cold. Wednesday morning, we do it again. Another round of below zero temperatures, another day of minimal melting. It is not until Thursday that we finally start to see temperatures climb above freezing for more than a few hours. Some of you will be without power for a week. I am not trying to scare you. I am trying to prepare you. The combination of extreme ice, extreme snow, and extreme cold is rare. It is dangerous, and it requires preparation. If you have not already, do these things right now. Fill your bathtub with water. Fill every container you have with water. If you lose power, you lose the ability to flush toilets and wash hands. Charge every electronic device you own. Charge battery packs. Charge flashlights. Charge everything. Fill your gas tank. If you need to evacuate to a warming center, you do not want to be searching for gas. Get cash. ATMs do not work without power. Card readers do not work without power. Get batteries, flashlights, radios, anything that needs batteries. Buy extra. Get food that does not require cooking. Crackers, peanut butter, granola bars, canned goods you can eat cold. Get medications. If you take daily medications, make sure you have at least a week's supply. And most importantly, check on your neighbors. Elderly neighbors, neighbors who live alone, neighbors who might not have heat if the power goes out. This is life and death for some people. Now let me talk about timing because this is critical. I am going to go region by region and tell you exactly when you need to be home, off the roads, and settled in. Texas and Oklahoma, you are already there. If you are not home by now, get home immediately. Louisiana and Arkansas, you need to be home by 3 p.m. today. Do not wait. Mississippi and Tennessee, home by 5 p.m. today. Kentucky and Southern Ohio, home by 8 p.m. tonight. The Carolinas and Georgia, home by 8 p.m. tonight. Virginia, home by 10 p.m. tonight. Maryland and Delaware, home by midnight tonight. Pennsylvania and New Jersey, home by 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. New York and Connecticut, home by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Massachusetts and Rhode Island, home by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, home by noon tomorrow. Those are hard deadlines. After those times, roads become life-threatening. Do not risk it. Do not think you can make it. Stay home. Let me also talk about wind because we have not discussed this yet. Tomorrow evening, a squall line moves through the Carolinas, Virginia, and the Mid-Atlantic. This is not a normal squall line. This is a severe weather setup that would produce tornadoes if we were in April. But because we have a layer of cold air at the surface, it produces freezing rain and sleet instead. But the winds are still there. Gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour are possible from Charlotte to Richmond to Washington, D.C. tomorrow evening. If you have 1/4 to half an inch of ice on trees, and then you add 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts, trees snap, power lines snap, transformers explode. This is when the widespread long-duration power outages begin. Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh, this happens between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. tomorrow evening. That is when you lose power if you are going to lose power. Richmond, 8 p.m. to midnight tomorrow. Washington, D.C., 10 p.m. tomorrow to 2 a.m. Monday morning. Thunder ice is possible. Yes, thunderstorms while it is sleeting or freezing rain. It is rare, but it happens in these dynamic setups. If you hear thunder tomorrow evening and you are in the Carolinas or Virginia, that is your warning that the worst of the winds are about to hit. Now let me give you one more thing to watch for. The potential for a second storm next week. I am seeing some signals in the long-range models that another system could impact the same areas Wednesday into Thursday of next week. It is too early to know details, but if you are already buried in snow and ice and still without power, and then another storm hits, that compounds the disaster. I will have updates on that as we get closer, but just be aware that this might not be a one-and-done situation. Mother Nature might have a second punch ready. Let me also address the Northeast one more time because I want to make sure you understand the intensity of what is coming. Boston, Providence, Hartford, Albany, Burlington, Portland. This is not a light, fluffy snow that is easy to shovel. This is heavy, wet snow. This is back-breaking snow. This is snow that causes heart attacks when people shovel it. If you are over 50 years old, do not shovel this snow yourself. Hire someone. Ask a neighbor. But do not do it yourself. Every major snowstorm, we see people die from heart attacks while shoveling. Do not be a statistic. And for those of you who have to shovel, do it in stages. Do not wait until 2 feet is on the ground. Go out every 4 hours and clear 4 inches at a time. It is so much easier on your back and your heart. Also, clear your exhaust vents. If you have a gas furnace or gas water heater, make sure the exhaust vent on the outside of your house is clear of snow. If that gets blocked, carbon monoxide backs up into your house. People die from this every winter. Clear your vents, and if you lose power and you are thinking about running a generator inside your garage to stay warm, do not. Generators produce carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide kills. Even if your garage door is open, it is not enough ventilation. Generators go outside at least 20 feet from your house. No exceptions. I also want to talk about travel impacts beyond just roads. Airports are going to be a disaster. If you have a flight this weekend or early next week anywhere in the eastern United States, assume it is canceled. Do not go to the airport. Call the airline first. Rebook from home. Thousands of flights are already canceled. Thousands more will be. And if you are trying to drive long distances, Interstate 95 from Florida to Maine is going to be a parking lot at various points. Interstate 81 in Virginia is going to be a sheet of ice. Interstate 77 through the Carolinas is going to be impassable. Interstate 81 in Pennsylvania is going to be buried in snow. Interstate 90 across upstate New York is going to be a whiteout. Do not travel. This is not the weekend for a road trip. This is not the weekend to visit family. Stay home, stay safe. Now, some of you are wondering about specific towns that I have not mentioned yet. Let me rapid fire through some additional cities. Amarillo, Texas, 8 to 10 inches of snow. Lubbock, 6 to 8 inches. Abilene, 4 to 6 inches of snow, then mixing. Waco, mostly ice, 1/10 to 1/4 inch. San Angelo, ice, 1/10 of an inch. Midland, Odessa, snow, 4 to 6 inches. Fayetteville, Arkansas, 6 to 8 inches of snow. Then sleet, then ice, total ice, 1/4 to 1/2 an inch. Fort Smith, similar. Jonesboro, heavy ice, 1/2 an inch to 3/4 of an inch. Hot Springs, major ice, 3/4 of an inch. Jackson, Mississippi, this is catastrophic ice for you, 3/4 to a full inch. Hattiesburg, ice, 1/4 to 1/2 an inch. Meridian, ice, 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. Tupelo, ice, 3/4 to 1 inch. Devastating. Mobile, Alabama, ice, 1/10 to 1/4 inch. Birmingham, ice, 1/4 to 1/2 an inch. Huntsville, snow and ice, 2 to 4 inches of snow, then 1/4 inch of ice. Montgomery, mostly rain, maybe brief freezing rain. Chattanooga, Tennessee, 3 to 5 inches of snow, then sleet, then ice, 1/4 inch. Kingsport, snow, 4 to 6 inches, then sleet. Clarksville, snow and ice, 2 to 4 inches snow, 1/4 inch ice. Evansville, Indiana, snow, 10 to 12 inches. Fort Wayne, snow, 8 to 10 inches. South Bend, snow, 6 to 10 inches. Indianapolis, snow, 8 to 12 inches. Lexington, Kentucky, snow, 6 to 10 inches. Frankfort, snow, 8 to 12 inches. Paducah, snow, 10 to 12 inches. Huntington, West Virginia, snow, 6 to 10 inches, possible mixing. Charleston, West Virginia, snow, 4 to 8 inches, mixing likely. Morgantown, snow, 8 to 12 inches. Lynchburg, Virginia, snow, 4 to 8 inches, then mixing. Charlottesville, snow, 6 to 10 inches, then mixing. Norfolk, mostly rain, maybe an inch of snow first. Virginia Beach, rain. Salisbury, Maryland, snow, 4 to 8 inches, then mixing. Ocean City, rain. Frederick, Maryland, snow, 8 to 12 inches. Dover, Delaware, snow, 6 to 10 inches, then mixing. Wilmington, Delaware, snow, 8 to 12 inches. Trenton, New Jersey, snow, 10 to 14 inches. Newark, snow, 8 to 12 inches, then mixing. Jersey City, snow, 8 to 12 inches, then mixing. Poughkeepsie, New York, snow, 16 to 20 inches. Albany, snow, 14 to 18 inches. Syracuse, snow, 12 to 16 inches. Rochester, snow, 10 to 14 inches. Buffalo, snow, 8 to 12 inches. Binghamton, snow, 12 to 16 inches. Bridgeport, Connecticut, snow, 10 to 14 inches, then mixing. New Haven, snow, 12 to 16 inches. Stamford, snow, 10 to 14 inches, then mixing. New Bedford, Massachusetts, snow, 10 to 14 inches, then mixing. Fall River, snow, 10 to 14 inches, then mixing. Lowell, snow, 14 to 18 inches. Springfield, snow, 16 to 20 inches. Nashua, New Hampshire, snow, 16 to 20 inches. Portsmouth, snow, 14 to 18 inches. Rutland, Vermont, snow, 18 to 24 inches. Brattleboro, snow, 16 to 20 inches. Augusta, Maine, snow, 16 to 20 inches. Lewiston, snow, 16 to 20 inches. Presque Isle, snow, 12 to 18 inches. I know that was a lot of information, but I want to make sure everyone knows what is coming for their specific area. If I did not mention your town, look at the nearest city I did mention. You will be similar. Now, one final thing I want to discuss. What happens after the storm? Because the storm itself is only part of the problem. The recovery is the other part. Power companies are pre-positioning crews from all over the country. Thousands of linemen are heading to the affected areas. But here is the reality. If you have 3/4 of an inch of ice in northern Louisiana and the temperature drops below zero and trees are down on power lines for hundreds of miles, it is going to take a week minimum to restore power, maybe longer. You need to mentally prepare for that possibility. 1 week without power, in below zero cold, with impassable roads. What is your plan? Have you thought this through? And for those of you in the heavy snow areas, realize that snow removal takes time. 2 feet of snow does not disappear overnight. Even if your street gets plowed, where are you going to drive? The store parking lots will not be plowed for days. Gas stations will not be accessible. Roads will be down to 1 lane. This is a multi-day shutdown for much of the eastern United States, maybe a multi-week shutdown in the worst-hit areas. Prepare accordingly. Comment below right now if you have questions about your specific location. Tell me what city and state you are in. Tell me what you are most concerned about. I am reading every comment and I will try to answer as many as I can. Also, if you found this information helpful, share this with your family and friends. Share it on social media. Get this information out there. People need to know what is coming. People need to prepare. You could literally save someone's life by sharing this video. And if you want continued updates as this storm progresses, make sure you are following my social media accounts. I will be posting updates constantly over the next 72 hours. Real-time radar, real-time impacts, real-time information. This storm is not a joke. This is not hype. This is real. This is dangerous, and this is happening right now. Take it seriously. Prepare, stay safe, and I will talk to you very soon with more updates. Stay warm,